Well, it's me. I'm back. Yesterday I came out here. I guess I hadn't shot in 8 months, a year, or something like that. I shot my Desert Eagle, my 50 caliber AE, using, the Hickok 45 starter kit. And boy, what a tough day it was. I had a problem with my extractor. It turns out, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. The Desert Eagle has a problem where if you don't hold it just right, it shoots the spent casings in your face, and they really hurt. They cut you open. And another problem that it has is sometimes it just doesn't like to eject anything, period. So I came out here and shot, and I would say half the shots didn't eject at all, and the others hit me in the face. And I got to say that I'm disappointed in the grouping. And if you saw the video, you know that I was doing what I'm doing today, shooting disappointing groceries. So you can say, well, how do you get grouping when you're shooting groceries? Well, I'm not talking about the bullets. When I went back in later and I looked at my face, I saw that the cuts and bruises on my forehead and the rest of my face, it was like a 4-inch group, which is really not acceptable when you consider the fact that the gun is only about 2 feet from my face. I really feel like IMI could have done better than that. So I was not too happy, but I found out that the Desert Eagle has a little round thing that looks exactly like a cherry-flavored jujube, except it's much smaller, and it's rubbery, and it functions as a spring. It makes the extractor work. I don't know why they didn't use a spring, but this is what they chose. And what I found out on YouTube, some guy said these things tend to deteriorate if you get oil or oil-like products on them. So, wow, who would ever put oil on a gun? Obviously, this was my fault. So I fiddled around with the gun today. I took the bolt out, and I found out there's absolutely no tension whatsoever on the extractor. It's strange that it ever extracted at all while I was shooting. So now I've got to order one of those jujubes and stick it back in there. And maybe then it'll start extracting and ejecting reliably. And after that, I guess, I don't know what I'll do about the fact that it's hit me in the face, because I was shooting it properly. I mean, I was manhandling this gun in a desperate attempt not to get hit in the face. I was holding it very rigidly, and I still got shot in the face. So, I don't know. But the whole experience was unpleasant and embarrassing. So I thought I'd come out today and try to redeem myself. One of the things I learned yesterday, this farm, I have cattle on it for tax purposes. And when I used to shoot out here, I was afraid to shoot anything that I had reloaded. And the reason was there was a lot of grass. The previous owner had 2 cattle, and then he got rid of them before he left. And there was a lot of grass, and I would come out here and shoot, and I couldn't find my brass. And I thought, I'm going to have to build some kind of portable shed, that I can move around with the tractor so I can shoot at different distances, and the shed will catch the brass. I mean, there's all kinds of lame things for catching brass. But it seemed to me that a shed was the way to go, because you just move it with the tractor, which takes 1 minute, and then you sit down and shoot. It's better than having a bag or, whatever it is they use these days. So I thought I was going to have to do that. But when I came out here yesterday and shot, and I noticed that the cattle that are on the place now have obliterated the grass, so I ought to be able to find the majority of my brass. That's really encouraging. So as a result of learning that, I decided to bring this thing out. And this is a Colt bright stainless 38 Super 1911. I really like this thing. I got it as kind of a pimp gun. I mean, I like guns that actually work, but it's not also nice to have guns that are fun and shiny and cute. And this is fun and shiny and cute. It's really nice. I'm trying not to, I'm demonstrating the worst possible gun etiquette, pointing it up in the air like that. Anyway, I'm done with that. I'll be nice now. I'll point it at the ground. So I bought this thing. And there were actually some problems with it, like the roll mark is not perfect, which is a bummer. And I'm trying not to point this thing at myself. Well, I'll tell you what. This thing here, the grinding and polishing is not quite symmetrical. Now, truthfully, I'm not that impressed with Colt. I think they charge way too much for what they sell. They just came out with a new Colt Python revolver, and it's $2,000, and that's not retail. That's what it actually costs. If you go to Bud's Gun Shop, which usually has reasonably competitive prices, $2,000 for a revolver, which is no better than a Smith & Wesson, which costs $700. So, I don't know. I mean, I like this gun. It's beautiful. It shoots well. But they should have gotten all the details right. One of these days, I should send it in and get them to fix the roll mark. I don't know if they would do it or not. My understanding with Colt is that they don't care at all about what the customer thinks or spends or anything, because they know people are going to line up to buy their junk. So I came out here today and I decided to shoot up some more of the offending groceries. I don't have much left. I brought out. It turned out I had one more can of Beanee Weenee, which is vile, and I also had a few more of these Ponderosa lemons, which I don't like. They're worthless. I don't know why anybody would grow them. So I thought I'd come out and shoot those up, and I thought, well, you know, I should warm up because I haven't been shooting a lot. So I got my 22 out, and I put some targets up, and I shot the target on the right with the 22, which should be easy to hit. I couldn't see the sights. The light behind me is blinding, and it reflected off the sights, and I could barely see the target. I have to wear polarized glasses. So I didn't shoot very well. I shot like, what is that, like 2.5 inches? I don't know. You probably can't see it. I'll show it to you in a bit. Or maybe I'll put a picture on the screen. So I thought, boy, this is terrible. I'm not going to do this. And then I put the other target up and shot it with the 38 Super, which ought to be harder to shoot. And you can see everything's in the center circle, except for one flyer where I flinched like crazy. I was sitting there going, when is this thing going to go off? Screw this, and I pulled the trigger and flinched. So I thought I'd shoot a few rounds off just because I want to get back to the feeling that I used to have when I shot guns that actually worked. Presumably the Desert Eagle will function again once the Jujube is installed. Now I hope I don't embarrass myself. Let's see what happens. I don't know if I hit it or not. Well, I'm grazing them. I don't want to graze them. I'm shooting low. Maybe I'm grazing them because I'm shooting low. Did I shoot high that time? I can't even tell. Well, these things don't blow up at all. This is disappointing. Let's see. I think I got one more. See, this shows why the Desert Eagle has to exist. I mean, this is a nice, decent handgun. I admit I'm shooting solid ammunition. I'm shooting Oregon Trail lead bullets, which aren't that great for blowing stuff up. But you would think it would do better than this. Somewhere in here I got another magazine. Magazines don't cost that much. The gun was very expensive. Alright, let's see. See if I can take down the Beanee Weenee. I'm going to try to hit it close to the center. Oh, now come on. That's it? I wonder what happens if I hit the cow poop. Now, cow poop doesn't mind being shot. Well, maybe I shouldn't do this, but yeah, I shouldn't have done that. What have I got? I've got one more. One more for the Beanee Weenee. Yeah, it just doesn't react well. Well, I don't know if I'm going to stand out here all day and shoot groceries that just don't do anything interesting. I'll go up and take a picture of the targets and show you how I failed utterly with the 22 and did okay with the 38 Super until I got impatient. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll come up with something more interesting to shoot. But it is nice to be able to find my brass, not to be hit in the face over and over again with shells. It's a pretty good day.